Hi everybody, thanks for joining us for Northern Ag TV. Well, today I want to take you back to the Commodity Classic in Denver. Again, our coverage of the Commodity Classic sponsored by Meristem Crop Performance. Get more bushels for less on your operation by visiting meristemag.com. Well, wheat growers from Montana and across the country were at the Commodity Classic, not just to see the latest in ag equipment and crop protection tools, but also to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the National Association of Wheat Growers. Let's check in with Andy Schwab, who's standing by with one of the past presidents of the association.
Yes, that's right. We are down here at the Commodity Classic in Denver. It has been a great convention so far and a great trade show, but one of the booths here, of course, NAWG, National Association of Wheat Growers, celebrating 75 years. And of course, a man you all recognize, Mr. Gary Broyles. And Gary, you served as president back in '02, and you've had a lot of industry relations with NAWG over the years. Give us just some highlights over the years, especially from that year that you were president back in '02.
Well, probably a highlight for me back then was working on the 2002 Farm Bill.
Yeah.
And it actually spent 2 full years working on it, '01 and '02. And so the efforts that we put into that was just one of the big ones. We had a few other issues. We had some reorganization within the office. We did go through a CEO change, so a lot of our effort, we had to cover for that absence in our office while we were doing a search to fill that position. So there's no shortage of something to do. I remember during that, specifically my year as president, I was away from the farm 200 days. So you can bet that the other 165, I mean, it was just full tilt at home and full tilt away. That was our year in a nutshell. I would like to go ahead and say, though, one of the key elements of that, trade has been an absolute pillar of one of the points with NAWG and the Voice of Agriculture. Is we raise this product. It's a very good product, but it's only good if you sell it. So in the wheat industry specifically, 50% of it that we raise goes overseas or goes to another country anyway. And so it behooves us to invest in that effort, to develop markets. That whole trade effort is something we were very, very, very supportive of. It comes through trade agreements. It also comes through what we call MAP and FMD funding, which basically that is a sum of money that is in the Farm Bill that is used to go out and basically wine and dine, if you will, develop relationships overseas. That most of that is done by either U.S. Wheat Associates or the USDA. And in 2002, it was $200 million for MAP and $34 million for FMD, 234 total. That has stayed level ever since 2002. So all of us understand what it's like to have our costs double and triple since 2002. And so all that did for that, since that held the same, is it just eroded the effectiveness of that to, at best, a third of what it was back then. Currently in the Farm Bill with NAWG and out of the Senate and the House right now, there is a doubling of that to 468. That would be awesome for agriculture, because wheat doesn't get all that. That's all of agriculture, but that would be awesome. Wheat would be a part of that. I'm so glad that we've got NAWG and we've got other commodity groups that are going to be pushing for that. So it is absolutely critical that we get something like this passed through. A doubling of that in this Farm Bill that they say is going to be done this year. I think there's optimism for that, but hey, I'm a farmer. I'm always an optimist.
Once again, Gary Broyles, past president of the National Association of Wheat Growers, as we celebrate 75 years with these guys this year, and appreciate all the hard work that Gary's done over the years. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Andy. Stick around and we'll talk about how the tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China affected our ag markets after the break.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.
Talking with someone that you know is stressed out, those are difficult things to approach, but if you're good friends with those people, reach out and say, I'm here to talk to you. We can find somewhere to get some assistance. It's hard to get involved, but at the same time, you want to just say, hey, there is help available.
For more tips in dealing with stress in agriculture or for free counseling for egg producers, visit beyondtheweather.com.
Well, tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China did affect egg markets quite a bit on Tuesday. Cattle futures started off very bearishly with steep triple-digit losses, but then kind of bounced back as the session wore on. Now, China did pledge to retaliate with tariffs against U.S. beef, but we did work out of that selling pressure on Tuesday. Really not much for new news on the cash-fed cattle and boxed beef front, as you can see. Hopefully we can turn those fed cattle prices around after moving lower for most of the last month. Looking to our local auction markets, a big all-class sale in Bowman this week. Majority of the cows sold 138 to 153, some a lot higher than that. A lot of those cows north of $2,000 a head. Heifers and young cows 178 to 224, and cull ewes ranging 98 to 142. The bull market's been pretty active. In Chinook this week, Clear Creek Angus sold 70 yearling bulls for an average of 81.71, and 90 commercial open heifers averaging 25.72. And in Riverton, Lucky 7 Angus had 376 bulls average 84.34. And in the wheat market, a 7th straight lower close as the implementation of tariffs was not well received in the futures like they were in the cattle. China and Canada have already pledged to target U.S. wheat and corn in their retaliatory tariffs. No answer from Mexico yet, but they've purchased about 20% of U.S. wheat exports this year. The Trump administration has pledged to help farmers weather a trade war, so that effort may need to pick up some steam pretty quickly. Nearby wheat futures were down 11 to 13 cents on Tuesday. Well, that's going to do it for this morning's report. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.